And welcome back. 45 years ago last month, Tony Karitzis held a mortgage broker hostage for 63 hours. It was a story that rocked Indianapolis to its core. Well, now that story has become the focus of a podcast series called American Hostage, starring Jon Hamm. And joining us now is the director and producer of the series, and my old friend, I should say that, Sean Christensen. Sean, good to see you. Full disclosure, you and I have known each other for years. So yes, when you first called me to talk about this story, I remember you being really surprised about why this story wasn't more known outside of Indianapolis.
Yeah, because I just heard of it a couple years ago, and it was a really striking story. But for you, for everyone in Indianapolis, it's sort of like, of lore, It's a different kind of thing. But I feel like on a national level, I don't know if people remember.
Right. So when you started getting to work on this, what attracted you to it? What was really stood out?
Well, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and we were trying to basically find a way to have actors being able to act without having to report to set, And so we were looking for crime. Our company's called Criminal Content. We're looking for crime entities, fiction, stories that we could tell in just audio. And this seemed like a good story to tell in just audio. It also had a really great themes. It feels like it resonates today, the story, both sides of the equation, the Tony Karitzis side of the equation and also the Fred Heckman side of the equation.
Yeah. So a lot of stories, as you mentioned, that have been done on this situation have focused on Karitzis and the hostage they call. But your series tells the story from a different angle by telling it through Jon Hamm's character, WIBC reporter Fred Heckman.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to get caught up on Tony Karitzis because he's very unpredictable, and he's unhinged, and he's kind of a man against the system, and he feels wronged, and he's an enigmatic guy who took the whole nation by storm after the 3 days or whatever. But the more interesting story to us was that of Fred Heckman, who's a hero to us in a way because he was in a lot of direct contact with Tony throughout the crisis. And so, he has to walk on eggshells, and he has to say the right thing because anything that he says it could go the wrong way. And that's just automatic tension, right? And it's just it's an extraordinary story because in the end, well, I don't want to spoil the end, but people in Indianapolis know the end of it. But part of that might be due to Fred Heckman, the sort of happy ending, if you want to call it that, we believe was partially because of his involvement.
Right. So what type of reactions so far have you gotten about this?
So far it's early days. It's not going to be available to everyone until Tuesday, March 8th. But right now it's playing on just on Wondery's app and Amazon Music's app, and we've heard that it's doing really well. People are really enjoying it so far, and we've fictionalized it. It's we don't know exactly everything that happened, so we're trying to tell a story. But one advantage we had that you were very helpful with was getting us in touch with WIBC. And when we got in touch with them, they were so wonderful to us, and they gave us their archives. And they gave us all of their coverage of the crisis. So when you listen to this podcast, even though it's a scripted podcast, it also uses the actual firsthand witnesses that WIBC had interviewed. It has some of Fred Heckman himself and Paul Page and Mark Watkins and all of these guys who were reporting at the time. It has their actual reporting interspliced into the scripted part.
I have about 30 seconds left, Sean. The actors that have been involved, I'm assuming they loved it. They had a good time doing this.
Yeah, we use a troupe of actors. We use Joe Perino from show Power, and he was on Sopranos. We use him as Tony Karitzis. Jon Hamm was an absolute blast to work with. Carla Gugino, Dylan Baker, and Becky Ann Baker. They all were just a joy to work with and very excited.
Yeah, I know of a couple people here at the station who have already listened to it. They love it. Everything drops on Tuesday nationwide. Of course, we'll have much more on that at wishtv.com. Sean, I've known you for over 20 years, man. Good to see you. Good luck. We'll talk soon.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.